The Galactic Council had sealed Chamber 77B for 300 cycles, not with force fields or blast doors, but with something far more absolute, pure, undiluted dread. Every species that approached the chamber reported the same symptoms. The Vrexian warriors, bred for fearlessness, collapsed into quivering masses before reaching the entrance. The telepathic Mindari screamed of voices that clawed at their sanity. Even the chromath silicon-based entities who experienced reality through mathematical probability refused to calculate any scenario involving the chamber's interior. The station's administrator, a six-armed Qualesh named Daisy, had tried everything. She'd hired priests, scientists, mercenaries, and one particularly expensive exorcist who'd taken one look at the readings and immediately refunded her credits. The quantum signature is impossible, the exorcist had said, his three eyes wide with terror. Whatever's in there exists in a state of perpetual malevolence. It wants to be found, but it will destroy anything that enters. Daisy had filed the chamber under permanent quarantine and tried to forget about it. That was until William arrived. William was human, a species so new to the galactic community that most databases still listed them as pending classification. He'd taken a job as a maintenance worker on Station Kepler 442, asking no questions about pay rates or working conditions, which Daisy found refreshingly uncomplicated. On his third day, Daisy found him standing outside Chamber 77B, half a sandwich hanging from his mouth. His ID card pressed against the sealed entrance panel. "William, no!" Daisy's translator shrieked as she scrambled down the corridor, her 6 arms flailing. "Get away from there! That chamber is—" The door opened. William walked inside. Daisy's primary heart stopped. Her secondary heart struggled to compensate. She activated every emergency protocol simultaneously, sending alerts to security, medical, and the nearest psychiatric facility. Then she heard humming, human humming, specifically. Off-key and cheerful, echoing from within the chamber that had driven 12 different species to madness. Daisy's tactical training warred with her basic survival instinct. Training 1. Barely. She crept toward the entrance, her skin shifting through 7 different stress colors, and peered inside. William stood in the center of the chamber, scanning shelves with a handheld inventory device. Around him, the air shimmered with what Daisy's sensors identified as Class 1-2 ontological hazard radiation, the kind of thing that could rewrite the fundamental nature of consciousness itself. William took another bite of his sandwich. Tuna, from the smell of it. "Oh, hey, Daisy," he said, noticing her in the doorway. "This is just the old storage room, right? I found like 200 boxes of Vrexian MREs in here. They expired 4 cycles ago, but the inventory system still had them listed as active." Daisy's translator made a sound like grinding gears. You can't be in there. The psychic pressure alone should have liquefied your neural tissue." William glanced around, chewing thoughtfully. "It is kinda stuffy. Want me to check the ventilation?" The cursed chamber of infinite screaming. Daisy's voice cracked across 3 octaves. The place where sanity goes to die. The quantum anomaly that 17 different religious texts specifically warn against. Oh. William consulted his work tablet. "Is this Chamber 77B? "Yeah. Work order says, perform routine inspection and cleaning. Nothing about cursed or screaming, though." He stepped toward her, and Daisy scrambled backward. But William just offered her his scanner. On the screen, she could see normal storage shelves, expired food supplies, and one incredibly dusty maintenance drone that had apparently been shut down mid-cleaning 3 centuries ago. "I don't understand," Daisy whispered. "The readings. The terror. Every species that's tried to enter has one. Maybe it's a human thing?" William suggested. He pulled out a dusty bottle from one of the shelves. "Hey, this is Kavaloth whiskey. Aren't these worth like 1,000 credits on the black market?" Daisy's mind raced through possibilities. Humans were carbon-based, like dozens of other species. Their neural structure was unremarkable. Their psychic resistance was, if anything, slightly below average. There was no reason. Reens. Then it hit her. "William," she said slowly. "Do humans have a concept called ignorance is bliss?" "Sure," William said, now pulling out boxes and cataloging them. "Why?" Daisy pulled up the original incident reports on her datapad. Every species that had approached the chamber had done so with full knowledge of what others had experienced. The Vrexians had battle-focused their consciousness, trying to resist. The Mindari had opened their minds completely, attempting to understand. The Chromath had calculated every possible outcome before entering. They had all expected horror. William had expected cleaning supplies and maybe some expired snacks. "What do your sensors read when you scan the room?" Daisy asked. William showed her his scanner. "Humidity's a bit high. Some dust. Oh, and there's definitely a dead mouse or something in the far corner. Smells pretty bad." Daisy checked her own sensors. They showed reality-bending energy signatures, consciousness-devouring quantum fields, and something her translator refused to describe, simply displaying a string of screaming emojis. "William," she said carefully, "I need to ask you something important. When you look at that far corner, what exactly do you see?" William squinted. "Looks like, yeah, definitely a dead space rat. Pretty gross. Want me to clean it up?" Daisy's scientific mind finally made the connection. The chamber didn't contain a curse. It contained something worse. A perfect fear amplifier. It reflected back whatever terror its observer brought with them. The Vrexians saw war. The Mindari saw madness. The Chromath saw the end of logic itself. William saw expired food and vermin. Because William, blessed with human obliviousness and armed with nothing but a sandwich and a work order, had never once considered that he should be afraid. "William," Daisy said, a plan forming in her complex brain, "how would you like a promotion? I have about 47 other restricted areas that need inspection." William grinned, finishing his sandwich. "Sure thing, boss. Just let me finish cataloging this stuff first. Waste not, want not. Right?" As Daisy walked away, she made a note in her log. "Humans possess previously unknown ability to remain functionally oblivious to cosmic horror. Recommend immediate deployment to all Class 1-2 hazard zones." Side note: humanity's greatest superpower may be their complete lack of self-preservation instinct. Behind her, William's cheerful humming continued, echoing through a chamber that had once been the station's greatest nightmare. It sounded suspiciously like an Earth song about never giving someone up. Daisy decided she didn't want to know.